Hello, everybody. Welcome to Bad Bit Games. I'm your host, Joseph. Today, we're going to talk about the SNES Classic and how the pre orders finally went live, and we can all imagine how that turned out. Not very good. So, pre orders finally went live after a month or two of being announced. This SNES Classic is finally coming. There's going to be a version in Europe, a version in Japan, and there's going to be a version here in America. We finally think that Nintendo has learned their lesson after talking about the lessons learned after the NES's short supply and short run. We think Nintendo has learned all this because they come out and said, we've learned a lot from this experience. We're going to make more products. We're going to make sure that the wires are actually not a foot long. We're going to make sure that the next product is better. And right now, I see a lot of upset Nintendo fans. Right now, I see Best Buy open pre-orders around like 2 o'clock in the morning. Within a few minutes, sold out. Amazon the same. We see GameStop, and we'll talk a little bit about them, actually closed down their website in order for in retail stores to actually get a hold of the situation for them not to crash or registers to crash. Then we see GameStop come back online offering pre-orders. Again, website crashes, but they also do something pretty shady as well, and that is tack on additional items to the sale to make sure that they boost up the attachment rate to this console. So instead of just pre-ordering an SNES, they would actually allocate some SNES pre-orders to, if you want a Legend of Zelda poster or a Legend of Zelda backpack or some type of stupid Nintendo lunchbox on the side of the SNES to make it more expensive. So we are seeing people pre-order $200 editions of the SNES because that's the only way they could get it. And yeah, sure, you get a nice, pretty little Legend of Zelda picture, but you didn't really want it in the first place. And that sucks. We see Target, Walmart, again, within seconds of going live, bam, dunzos. We see Toys R Us announce on Twitter, very smart on their part, saying how they're not going to accept any pre-orders online, that you have to go in store to make sure that you get one on the day, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And Toys R Us, it just shows how ill-informed and how they just don't get the times. That is going to turn things into situations like back in the 90s when people were trying to find Kirby's and Tickle Me Elmos, and this is 2017. It's stupid. And honestly, guys, gals, Nintendo fans, I feel real bad for you guys. Luckily I was able to get one. So I'm not the most angry about it, right? Because I'm happy at the moment my pre-order isn't taken down. But I see a lot of fans upset because Nintendo has come out and said, we learned, we're going to do better. And it seems like it's more of the same, that Nintendo doesn't really care. What it is just lip service. And at the end of the day, it's frustrating because you want to buy this thing, but Nintendo's not letting you, letting you buy it. It's like, here's my money, take it. And they're like, no, we're good. It's aggravating, and I understand that. And right now, this is not a good start for the SNES Classic. This is another classic trip up of Nintendo yet again, and it shows just how sometimes out of touch they are. We see so many great things coming from the Switch, and we see like Nintendo is always making 2 or 3 steps forward and 1 or 2 steps back all the time. It's like Nintendo is conflicted with itself. So what do we do as gamers? Because usually in my videos, there's an answer to the question. And there isn't a good answer. The answer is, well, if you don't like what Nintendo is doing, don't buy it. But the system's so popular because it's so hard to find. That's why people want it. And so it's like you have to tell yourself, no, I need to vote with my wallet here. But it's just not the case. That's not going to fix the problem, unfortunately, because a lot of people will not be able to curb that. If you don't buy it, what's going to happen? A scalper is going to take it and he's going to sell it for 2, 3, sometimes even $400. It's disgusting, but Nintendo allows it because Nintendo wants, I guess at this point, not so much money, but they want the mind share of people are thinking and talking about Nintendo. That this thing is selling not because you're really excited for the nostalgia, but this thing is selling because it's so hard to find. Like, look at the Switch, for example. It's still hard to find console. I do understand. I do believe Nintendo's trying to make as many of them as possible. But you see people like one of my friends bought one because he's like, you know what? I've heard so many things about how hard it is to get. Saw it in a Best Buy and I picked it up. And that was a gut decision. And I think Nintendo relies on that sometimes in order to feed the popularity of a new product. And sometimes they do that to such a harsh extent that it's just not healthy for consumers. And so, with that said, I want to know what you guys feel on the situation. Are you burned? Are you upset? Are you able to get a pre-order? Let me know in the comment section down below. What do you think about scalpers? To me, scalpers are disgusting, and I don't like them, but I understand why they do the things they do. And honestly, it is a gray area because if you're able to get it and the market says that people are willing to buy it at 200, $300, I know it sounds a little dirty when I say it, but yeah. So Nintendo, please get this right. You have a month to go. To me, if you didn't know or you knew that you were going to able to fit demand in September, you could have always pushed it back a month or two. I don't know. Gang, that's all I got for you guys today. If you like this video, please hit like, share, subscribe. It helps me out. It shows me that you care. Here at Bad Bit Games, it's all about the games. Whether you're a Nintendo player, whether you're a PlayStation player, whether you're an Xbox player, there's something here in this channel for everybody. We do news, impressions, new game discussions, and you're going to see a new video series from me that I actually really like. So with that said and all that out of the way, everybody, keep your wits about you and have a great one.